Hi there! In this video, we will discuss the summary of the 58th chapter of Noli Me Tangere by Dr. Jose Rizal, titled The Accursed. We will also study the important events, characters, settings, and lessons found in this chapter. Listen and watch carefully, as you will learn a lot from this historical work by Rizal. Let's begin. The families of the prisoners are confused and anxious, desperately seeking justice for their loved ones. The people are filled with fear and suffering because they have no one strong to turn to for justice. Some of them blame everything on Ibarra. When afternoon came, the prisoners were taken to a cart surrounded by soldiers. Among all the prisoners, only Ibarra's name was not called. Instead, he was accused of being a coward and cursed by the people, even his ancestors, until they called him a heretic and demanded he be hanged. They even threw stones at him while he remembered Elias's story about the woman who saw a head hanging from a tree. No one wanted to stand by Ibarra, not even Sinang, who was forbidden by Captain Basilio to cry. Ibarra deeply felt his separation from his homeland, love, home, friends, and a bright future. In the end, Pilosopo Tasio left and was found lying at the doorstep of his house the next day. Now, let's move on to the important events in this chapter. The families of the prisoners are confused and anxious, continuously seeking justice for their loved ones, while some blame Ibarra for what happened. In the afternoon, the prisoners were taken to a cart surrounded by soldiers. Ibarra was the only one whose name was not called, and instead, he was accused of being a coward and cursed by the people. The people called Ibarra a heretic and sentenced him to be hanged. They threw stones at him while he remembered Elias's story about the woman who saw a head hanging from a tree. No one wanted to support Ibarra. Even Sinang was forbidden by Captain Basilio to cry. Ibarra felt deep sadness because of his separation from his homeland, love, home, friends, and a bright future. In the end, Pilosopo Tasio left and was found lying at the doorstep of his house the next day. Important characters. Ibarra. He is the main character who is not bound, but is placed between two soldiers. He becomes the target of the people's anger, called a heretic, coward, and sentenced to be hanged. In the midst of fear, he feels no support from the people. Don Filippo, a prisoner who, despite being in a bitter situation, remains calm and even manages to smile and greet his wife. Dorai, Don Filippo's wife, who shows love and anxiety for her husband as she tries to hug him, but is stopped by the civil guards. Capitana Tinay, the mother of Antonio, one of the prisoners. She is deeply worried and grieving for her son. Alferez, he adds more guards and orders the soldiers to watch over the prisoners. The priest, he is sick and refuses to speak to anyone. Andong, another prisoner who cries when he sees his mother-in-law. Andong's mother-in-law, a brave old woman who loudly declares that his son-in-law's underwear is new, which is why he was arrested. Sinang, Ibarra's friend, who is forbidden by her father, Captain Basilio, to cry. Pilosopo Tasio, the wise man who dies after witnessing the events. The teacher. He is among the people worried about the fate of the prisoners. Nol Juan, dressed in mourning clothes, he expresses his concern and doubts about Ibarra's safety. Captain Basilio, Sinang's father, who orders her not to cry. Let us now proceed to the setting of this chapter. The setting of this chapter was in the streets of San Diego, where the prisoners were taken out of jail and loaded onto a cart. Here are some of the lessons, messages, or implications shown in this chapter. This chapter shows the injustice in society where the powerless cannot do anything to defend their loved ones. Ibarra, even though his guilt has not been proven, is quickly judged by the people, showing how quickly judgment is passed based on anger and fear. In the midst of crisis, the love of family remains strong, but it is also tested in the face of great challenges. The chapter teaches that responsibility should be placed on the right people, not on the innocent who are blamed simply because of the people's anger. And that concludes the 58th chapter of Noli Me Tangere, titled The Accursed. What have you learned from this chapter? Share your answers in the comments. We also encourage you to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell to stay updated with our future videos. Until next time, thank you for watching.